And good evening to a few of you and those of you watching on the recording. Today is March 10, 2022, and welcome to the community briefing. Today we've got a special treat for you. We are highlighting the success, the business of women, women of color, Black women, and those especially here in the Los Angeles area. So our program today will be moderated by women after I shut up. And they'll get a chance to showcase some of the things they're doing, be encouraging to those who are trying to get in business. So you're in for a great show. So thank you for coming today. My name is Gregory Sneed. The name of my company is Lifesaver Financial Services, where I help my clients keep more of the money that they make. My services are broken down into 3 areas: life insurance, long-term care, and now adding final expense. I'm a financial consultant and also a financial literacy educator and trainer. I will put some information in the box and the chat. And without further delay, it is my pleasure to welcome the queen of our community briefing, Crystal Mitchell.
Good morning, everyone. Happy International Women's Month. It's awesome. Women are just killing it out here. If you guys didn't catch it, I did a show last Friday at the Business Zone about women and had some amazing stats. So you guys can go over to the Business Zone's YouTube channel and check it out. But I want to welcome all the ladies here, especially this is a special one today. So not only we have some amazing women that have been doing some incredible things in our community. So we want to highlight them as well as highlight you guys as business owners. So this is kind of RBD 30-second elevator pitch style. So we did that a month or so ago and it went really well. It went well. So we want to do that again. So you will all have that opportunity. My name is Crystal Mitchell, as Greg said, and I am the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, as well as I am a business coach and consultant for the small business community. I host the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, as well as the community briefing. And I also host co-host another program on Mondays called Conversations on the Patio, and we talk about all things retirement. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are going to have a fantastic day. We got a fantastic team here at the Business Community Briefing. Thank you guys for sitting in for me last week. As you guys may have heard, I went hot air ballooning. It was a phenomenal thing. It was awesome, awesome, awesome. And I recommend all of you do that. And as Robin and I just said, as we were coming on, if you guys are in the business of enjoying plays, go to see the Lehman Trilogy. I learned a lot. Wow. Too bad they're not around to pay their reparations to us, because that's how they got started. Because it was all out there in bright colors, but they're not here. So what can you say? So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our other co-host, Ms. Robin Billups, and she will introduce herself, and then we'll get this party going.
Greetings to all of our family in the community briefing community. It's Robin Billups with the Billups Group. I am a consultant after working over 30 years in the financial services industry. I consult with, assess, and create strategic frameworks for entrepreneurs, particularly those who are looking to do business with corporations, because I have been behind the curtain and I know how the secret sauce is made. I'm excited about today because every week we have a host of fantastic women business owners, women in general who join our community briefing. So we will have an opportunity for everyone to be able to do an elevator pitch. And then we have a few folks who are gonna have a little bit extra time because they're here every week. They support the organization and they're here every week. And then I wanna say hello to my good friend Colette Moore, who I haven't seen for a while. We call her our small business correspondent. And then we also have our good friend Emma Maxey, who's here from the SBA. So again, welcome everyone. And I look forward to us celebrating women business across the globe.
All righty. So let's, since Omone has to run for a few minutes, we're gonna let her get started, and then we'll do our other ladies. They're gonna get 5 minutes. And then at that point, everyone all our other attendees and guests will get to introduce themselves. So Ms. Omone, I hear you have something you want to share with us.
Well,
Yeah, no? Okay.
well, I mean, of course, I mean, I always have things to share. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Crystal, Robin, Stephen, Gregory, you guys are phenomenal. Just, having this community briefing every week. You're committed to helping the community, committed to helping small businesses, and kudos to you. We truly, truly appreciate you all, and for showcasing and featuring myself and my very good friend Bianca, Vobecky. When I saw that, I said, wow, what an honor. What an honor to showcase me next to my very good friend, Bianca, who we help each other out, amongst other small businesses here. Yes, we do have businesses that we're running here in LA and California and all over, but, it is a small community. We're consistently there. We're just a phone call away to help each other for any questions or any leads on anything. But let me just introduce myself once again, Omone Livingston. I am the founder, president, and CEO of O2 Engineering, Projects and Construction Management, O2 EPCM. I am a civil and environmental engineer and have been in this business for almost 30 years now. I started when I was 5. It's a dream. Being an engineer, it's a dream come true. I started at the age of 19 years old while in undergraduate, studying getting my degree in civil and structural engineering. And I did proceed on to UCLA and got my master's in civil and environmental engineering. So as you can see, since 11 years old, this is my life. I've always wanted to be an engineer, and I am just loving what I'm doing. On top of that, providing and finding jobs for individuals, helping them get their passion, because, a lot of our staff, I always ask, what is your passion? And I like to help them get to where they want to be, on top of mentoring and helping to give scholarships and internships out to, especially those that are in the Black and Brown community. They need people like us. A lot of them don't get a chance to see that it can happen. I do a lot of, actually, I have 2 events today that I'm giving a presentation and a part of a panelist as part of the women's celebration for the month, celebrating women's accomplishments this month. And hopefully it's not just one month, but every day, just like Black History Month, right? So some of you may ask, what do we do? O2 Engineering, Projects and Construction Management, we provide professional, technical, and consultant services. Primarily, we do project management, construction management, project controls, QA/QC, inspection services, and staff augmentation, just to mention a few services that we do provide. Why did I start this business? Again, it is my passion, not only to build things, but also I've always wanted to be a blessing to others too. And I've always prayed that when I get to the point that I am now, and I'm still furthering to get to another level of where I am, to continually be a blessing to others, because others have been a blessing to me. I didn't get here by myself. It was done. It's a collective effort. We are, standing in the backs of others that paved the way for us, and we have to pave the way for others too. One of the motto for National Association of Black Engineers, NSBE, is passing the touch. We need to pass that touch. It doesn't stop here. I don't like going into a room and seeing, someone, just me in that room. I need to see people that look like me in that room, and you guys know when we see each other in that room, we're hugging each other and just really excited to see it. So, I'm just blessed and fortunate and humble to have all of you, in my life. And I hope I'm a blessing to you too as well. And I want to be, but we want to also, just, keep the hard work that we all do. Usually I say, just give me crumbs. I just need the crumbs of what you got. You can have the pie and give me little crumbs. I'll crawl to get to where I want to be. I don't want to start walking. If that's what God has for us, then that's what we're going to do. But in the long run, I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I'm humbled. And I think I'll stop there.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you, Omone. I remember meeting you there for the very, very first time. I was at I guess the airport was doing something and you had a booth and you were standing there amongst all of these men and looking so confident at what you were doing. And from that time on, it was like everywhere I went, you were, and I learned so much about you since that time. So as a protege, I quite agree with you. I started very young as well. You are absolutely beautiful and congratulations on all the work that you've been doing out there. You got honored recently, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. We have prime contracts with several utility companies, some of which are California American Water, Suburban Water Systems, and of course, San Gabriel Water Company, San Gabriel Valley Water Company. They are part of California Water Association that nominated our company for Supplier of the Year Award 2021, in which we won last year. Being nominated the first time, it was a humbling experience, and we are just really showing a lot of gratitude to not just our primes, but also the agencies that we do prime contracts with. And we've been featured in other magazines too as well, several different magazines by our clients, one of which is LAWA, and other agencies too as well. So we do work. One of the things I don't like doing, I don't like boxing myself in services that we do provide. Because typically, when we do get that phone call and say, hey, Omone, do you do this? No, we don't. Well, we want to mentor you, do that. I'm not going to say no. If someone wants to mentor you to, provide more services, I'll take it, and I would encourage everyone to, have an open mind to doing several different things, because I'm not shy to say, I don't know how, teach me how to do it. And I want to be part of that too as well.
Awesome.
Omone said a couple of things that are very, very critical. One, General Order 156 in the utility space requires that the utility companies invite and include diverse companies in their bidding process. So again, follow regulated businesses, because there are opportunities there. And a lot of them have really, as a matter of fact, they've done one of the best jobs when it comes to supply chain inclusion. So General Order 156, follow these regulated businesses, look at these orders that are out there and ask questions and participate. I like Crystal. I've seen Omone. I got into the supply diversity world in 2006, and I've seen her over these years, every place that I've been, and that there is a consistency in people seeing you actively engaged. So I encourage all of our business owners to spread your wings, to operate outside the box and ask questions, raise your hand, It certainly helps, and it helps people to remember, oh, this person is inquisitive. And again, the community briefing space is to provide you with the resources you need in order for you to spread your wings, in order for you to find opportunity, in order for us to, as Bernard Kinsey says, leave the ladder down so that somebody else can start climbing that ladder as well. So thank you.
And to add to that, Robin, it's not just that alone, is that after you get that contract,
follow up.
Show up. You got to show up, you got to show out, you got to show that, when they're looking at you like, okay, what can they do? So you got to show out, you got to keep your certifications intact. You got to keep your paperwork intact. When you said you're going to do something, do it. You know, you want to excel, you want to exceed their expectations. And that's what we continually do at O2 EPCM. I know, you know, a lot of people do come into the business not understand the business. Of course, I had some kind of leg up from me because I've been in business for 30 years. Prior to even forming my own company, I've helped other companies grow, and I've worked for multi-billion-dollar companies around the globe to grow businesses. So
what she's saying, guys, is called marketable skills. You know, you are looking to obtain marketable skills, and marketable skills may be in your sector or the ancillary services that your sector provides or the clients that you're looking at.
Right. And you continually, you know, you don't stop learning. You know, I'm continually in you know, different webinars and seminars, and people say, you can teach
Crystal?
this. I know. I mean, no, yes, I can, but I'm always learning. Even though I've already known something before, I'm still there's something that I always speak of from every workshop that I attend. So, you know, I love to learn. I love to teach. And just love to help too. And that's my passion. Having that compassionate side of me too as well truly helps in business and running my business too as well with my my staff.
Wonderful.
Thank you. That's awesome. So basically, those are the skill sets you've. I was going to ask you this question, and you've kind of answered it already. What do you think it takes, and if you could share with the other ladies on as well, and whoever's listening, what it takes to be successful as a Black woman in business today?
First and foremost, I'm a religious person, so I put God first in everything I do.
Okay.
Trust in that. Before I walk into a room, before this started, I've prayed, of course, putting God first, believing in yourself. Because if you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else, and of course, having those mentors, having you know, partners. You know, I have Bianca. Bianca has me. Bianca can call me anytime. I can call Bianca at 10 o'clock at night. Bianca, I got, you know, and we have a community like that. Not just that, but of course, you've got, in order to be successful, you have to have your things, you know, in order. You've got to have your things in order. If a client, my staff, I'm very organized, and I'm, you know, with my staff, I said, I check their work sometimes, or I check the computer. I need you to be organized, because organization is the key. If a client called me today and said, Omone, I need this from 2 years ago, I can get it to them in 10 minutes. Because I know exactly where it is, I'm organized, and that's very important. But, you know, again, just making sure that your things are in order, and believing in yourself, having mentors that, you know, would help you along the way, and you being a mentor to others too. It's not about, you know, give. It's about what, I mean, take is what you can give too as well, right? And lastly, I would say, you know, network. You've got to network. You've got to keep those relationships going, because people do business with people they know, they trust, that they, you know, getting that referral is key. We're starting to get that referral. My phones are starting to ring, and we're just grateful. You know, giving back for me as well with everything, you know, having interns and giving out scholarships. I thrive in those. I don't mind giving out scholarships on a yearly basis. And that's something that I will continually do as long as I can till I leave this earth.
All righty. Thank you, Omone. We so appreciate you.
I wanted to congratulations. I'm sorry, but I had something I wanted to also share with her and all the other contractors on the call. The CPUC just accepted the annual reports from all the utilities, and this is the time for you to look at the annual reports and find out what they spend money on. And also, Omone, you know this, find out what they spend money on and go after those contracts. And that is one thing all the utilities do, diversify their contracting opportunities. And this is the time to see, and you will be surprised. There are opportunities for anyone that's there, but you must put an effort. Look at the annual reports and see how much money they spend. Look at their goals for 2021. And if you have problems interpreting, give me a call. I can help you. I did it for 30 years, but this is the time to do it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Colette.
Well, good morning, everybody. So good to be with you all. It's been a minute. I've been focusing on some programming. I was sharing with Steve, and I love being with the ladies on this call. I've been the director of PCR for a little over 2 years now, Pacific Coast Regional, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I also had a business for 8 years, Pride Staffing business, and I met several of the ladies on this call while I had my business. Omone as well, Bianca, who was very, very open with sharing information. I'll never forget, I went to a conference and I was working on my your statement, what now, I can't even remember what it is. Yes, your capability statement. And I ran into Bianca in the parking lot, and I'll never forget. She's like, "Oh yeah, do this, put your picture, do this, do that." And I was so happy about that. I was like, the sisters share. And I love that. And I really appreciated that. And then running into Robin Billups, and, the sisters share not only business things, but one day I ran into Robin and I was complaining about hot flashes, and Robin gave me some womanly advice even then. So the women help in a variety of areas, and that is, women are women. We go through all different types of things with our business, personally, with our families. And so there is support here, and I'm encouraged by that support and the fact that women can come together and share insights and wisdom that you need at the time that you need it. And so thanks for sharing that. I know, Bianca, I'm happy to hear that you guys stay connected and you're always working as well. So just wanted to share. So I had my undergrad, I was an engineer as well, an industrial and systems engineer, undergrad from USC, went on to get my MBA at UCLA, so cross sides of the city, and worked in consumer goods for many, many years, for Disney for 16 years in marketing, and then started my own business. And I was also a client of PCR at the time, and I got great advice. There was a whole bunch of it. I wish I had listened to it more. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And as I look back, I can recount those mistakes and consider them all learning opportunities. And what it does now is it really helps to drive me to help our community to get good information and to learn how to act on the good information as it relates to your business. Because there's a whole bunch of information out there, but you still have to continue to work on your business. You have to do the step back. You have to make sure you have the right products and services, that you're selling to the right people at the right time. And so all of those things matter. And Pacific Coast Regional has been around. I'm happy to be with an organization coming from corporate into now in the not-for-profit space. It's new for me being on the other side. And, PCR has been around this is the 45th year that's being celebrated. And during that time, loans to underserved communities, which is a focus, technical assistance and training, and granting money as well. And so one of the things I'm happy about is working with this community. The community briefing has been wonderful during the pandemic. Glad it's still going. Glad you guys are still participating. Such a great outlet to get information to the community. There are not a lot of places that were happening every week when the information was just like changing every second. It seemed like it's, here, there, everywhere. And so this place, I think, was excellent. And I just applaud all of those that have participated in keeping it going. So thank you guys for continuing that. So as it relates to women, for Women's History Month, PCR has just launched a new program called SELF. Sister Entrepreneur Loan Fund. We had 77 people register for the first round. One of your participants is on the call today. Raise your hand if you want to out yourself. Ardina is one of our 30 on the cohort, and we just launched, and this program has technical assistance of cohort that we're doing for 6 months. It also has funding. So the funding is available more broadly, but PCR has set aside over the next 3 years, $4.5 million essentially for women, Black women entrepreneurs. So we want to help Black women be able to access this funding. And the first thing that we started to do was this cohort. And so US Bank and the African American Coalition for CDFIs helped sponsor this program. And it was actually Mark's idea to put this together. So he certainly has a heart for the Black women. And we're carrying it forth, and we're so excited about the entrepreneurs because most of them almost everybody has been in business for at least 2 years. Wonderful. And they have things to share and best practices to share with each other. So it's outstanding. And one of the things that I am doing is, it's a little different from being having your own business, but it's going out getting grant money. And so we are super excited because we were just selected as a grantee for this program. Ardina doesn't even know this yet, but we have additional grant money that we'll be able to offer to the ladies. And I'm headed to Sacramento for the launch of that program on Monday. So that'll be additional resources that we're able to bring to bear, because we know that, you know, so many businesses were impacted during the pandemic, and there's still a need for grants in addition to loans. So Correct. People still need some grants to help them to get over to recover and grow. And so we are just excited to be part of that opportunity to be able to assist Black women because the numbers don't look good in terms of wealth gap for sisters, in terms of opportunity to get money and to get loans. But there are still women like the ones on this call that are continuing to succeed, that are continuing to press forth, that are continuing to use the resources available to you to get the help that you need, pivot your business when you need to, whatever those things are, you guys are doing it. And I'm happy to be able to take the learnings that I had to be able to input that into the programming that we do at PCR and the SBDC. And I just want to share one other thing, because of all, you guys have helped us so much. We've had so many great clients that we've been able to help, that our center was selected as a nominee for top SBDC office for the LA network. So, and then that takes us into kind of the regionals, and we'll see how it goes from there. But I appreciate this group and our clients and our advisors like a Robin Billups, who have helped us along the way to service the needs of the community over the last couple of years. So
it's just wonderful. It just warms my heart, because my son, Kenneth Brown Billups III, will be 41 years old, March the 27th. And I was on PCR's loan committee when I was pregnant with him. So when you say 44 years, it warms my heart. I've seen the organization grow and meet the need, pivot to meet the needs as things change. So congratulations, big congratulations.
Awesome, Ms. Colette. So Ms. Colette, what do you think it takes to be successful in business today as a woman?
I think it really takes looking at what you do to make sure it lines up with what your clients' needs are.
Yes.
So I've seen so many people say, oh, I'm going to be a YouTube star, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you really have to look at where these ideas can make money, right? How is it income generating? How is it revenue producing? And how can you make a profit from the activities that you're going to go about doing? It's not enough, just to go out and do activity. You have to make money from that in order to be sustainable. And so one of the things that we are seeing, and Crystal, you've heard us talk about this, is making sure that you got the right product, the right services, and that you can test those things out just looking at your financials. So we've got a real focus on profit projections, because so many of the businesses we work with just haven't taken a moment. They kind of have it in their head, but then you're not really making as much money as you thought on this one line of business or this area. And if you look at it in numbers first, sometimes before you go launching into the deep with your hard-earned money or your grandma's hard-earned money or, Uncle Bobby's hard-earned money, somebody who's supporting you, you can pencil that out on paper first and see which ones might be the better opportunities. And so it's something that I'm seeing as a gap that can be filled. This isn't an overwhelming gap. And I know the ladies on this call, you guys have been in business a while, and you are probably doing that, but there are other businesses that have been in business a while and haven't really done that. And so it's kind of just going with the flow and not really stepping back to make sure that you are spending your time and your money in the right place. And because it's harder to recover when big mistakes are made. So make your mistakes, do more, you're penciling on mistake, pencil it first on mistakes. And then when you go out, you can minimize maybe impact of mistakes that are out there.
Well, thank you. Awesome. So ladies, I hope you were taking note with that. Thank you, Colette. I quite agree. Focusing on those numbers, making sure that your product is a business model that generates revenue and that you have more than one revenue stream coming in, just in case.
And I want to call it, make it not just a revenue stream, a profit stream.
Yes, a profit
stream, not just revenue. Got to make some
profit. Thank you. Thank you. So next we have Miss Bianca Vobecky. She's going to share with us about herself and also what she feels it takes to be a successful businesswoman today. You're on mute.
Hello, everyone. Did you, I think, okay, great. My slide is being shared. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. I've always believed in supporting other women-owned businesses and, in all aspects of my life. Before I even had my own business, I remember, I don't want to say our age, but I remember about 23 years ago, and Omone and I, when I first met her, we were working at Parsons Engineering, and she was a junior engineer just fresh out of school. And pretty much it was 99% male and the job that we were at, because it was engineering and defense contracting. So we supported each other even back then as a few female working in that big corporation. And I remember we used to have lunch every Tuesday to keep each other encouraged. So it's kind of nice. And when we started our own business, we're able to support each other and keep each other up. A little bit about me. A lot of you know me, but my name is Bianca Vobecky. I'm the president of Vobecky Enterprises, a business dedicated to providing construction and construction-related services, such as tenant improvement work, construction management, project staffing, and supplier of equipment, all pretty much supporting the construction industry, just different avenues, but supporting the same industry. In our construction division, we do a lot of tenant improvement work, space planning. We're doing a lot of space planning work for American Waters right now and some of the companies that local utility companies. For the military and the federal agencies, we do a lot of energy efficient within lighting and all type of HVAC and trying to get our government efficient and ready for their mission. Our purchasing department, a lot of people don't know that we do that. The purchasing and sourcing division is engaged in the procurement and sales of construction material and supplies. We also, in the construction industry, also provide staffing where we provide on-site personnel for various technical positions to service the needs of our clients, project management, fleet management, engineering, warehouse agents, inventory. And then our first department that we opened was our logistics, where we move freight nationwide. We tell people, if you have a box, give it to FedEx or UPS. If you have some serious shipping, call Vobecky. That's where we come in. And the truck that you see here is an example of the truck that we use we move on a daily basis for SoCal Gas, for piping their projects. So we've been in the industry a while. We enjoy what we do. I've pretty much been attending this community briefing, ever since it started, I get encouraged. I look forward to this because it empowers me and gives me a lot of good information. Talking about, Crystal asked about what do I think being a successful woman means? Well, today being a successful woman means making time for my family, friends, and myself while creating a value at work. Fulfillment, work-life balance, making a difference in the world. That's what we all want to do, right? We want to be remembered for making a difference in the world and a community we live in. Being a successful woman, you have to always have the right mindset because there's so much negativity and stuff coming your way all the time, right? So it's just keeping that positive mindset and then giving it your all. Like when you start a company and everything depends on you, the buck stops there. There's no, so you have to give it, 100%. But also remember, I could do it. Sometimes it gets difficult. We may have to call Robin or, someone call, hey, who would you call? What would you do? Our support, our support team. But we also have to keep it 100% when we can do it because there's so much always trying to distract us and keep us down. Also, I think one of the most important things that I learned about being to be successful in this industry, you have to surround yourself by like-minded people who could inspire you, people who could encourage you, and also keep it positively allowing successful females to see the potential that lies within them and give them a faith to step outside the box. So sometimes you just need the smoke cleared out and you just need to see where the first step is. You can find the other steps, right? You just need sometimes to just get to find out where that first step is, and then you can do it your way. I remember when I first started my business, I had just got my business degree and I was getting promoted in my company. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, of course, my mom, she loves me to death, right? She's my biggest cheerleader. I was like, Mom, I'm starting my company and I'm going to do that. She's like, what? Why would you do that? You have a job, you just got promoted and you're guaranteed a salary every week. Why would you go out and take this chance? I don't get it. I tried to explain it to her, but the fear she had in my survival was trying to keep me in the corporate America. Stay, we had conversation after conversation, and I had to get on the phone and call other women who understood my dream and where I wanted to go. My mom's trying to protect me. And a lot of times you tell your family, your best friends, and okay, I want to grow my department. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they don't have your mission. They don't have the entrepreneur bug. So the love that they have for you is to protect you, right? So sometimes we have to say, thank God that we have these people who love us in our family and our lives. However, we need to surround ourselves by other women who understand our dreams, who's going to say, you could do it. You could try it. Call me anytime. And if we don't have that support in our lives, it's going to be very difficult because things, the world, you don't know what the world will bring. Pandemic, financial situations, family problems, health problems. We need that group of women. And that's one of the reasons that I attend this meeting every Thursday. I mean, you guys know I'm always there when I can, because to me, that group, some of them, women and men, but you guys are my community. You share my pain. What the struggles are. So listening to you every week and hearing about the positive things that's happening in our community is one way that I keep myself, I feel, as a successful woman, because I'm taking feedback from you guys. And pretty much this is what I have.
Wow, Bianca, thank you so much. Robin, did you have something to say?
It's so perfect because when I coach clients, I always talk to them about the fact that you have to, just like you fill out everything else on your calendar, you have to make sure you put in professional development time. So I see this as professional development every week, because every week somebody comes on here and says something that just, pricks your interest, get you over that hump. And Bianca, to your point, again, I just think it's a natural part of being the people that God made us to be, these folks with this melanin in our skin. We're always helping people. We are always helping people. So, again, the charity starts at home and spreads abroad. And I love what you said about the fact that sometimes the folks who are in your corner, they're in your corner for a reason and a season and a purpose. And then you have to go find some other folks that will help you with your mission and vision, because my pastor always says that the Lord only gives the vision to one person, and it's up to everybody else to capture that vision and help move it forward. So you just brought that home. So we have our next presenter coming up, Crystal.
Yes, we do. But before I do that, though, Bianca, your mother must have been talking to my mother, because those are the exact same words she said to me 30 years ago. It's like, what is wrong with you, girl? And I said to her, it's like, but Mama, I'm a horrible employee. I need to be an employer of me. She said the exact same words. So they must have got together.
I think it's a black mama thing. Okay.
It's a black mama thing. Like, no, baby, you can't go out there and you need money. So our next presenter, and have you guys noticed, these are women who are powerful. 3 of them are actually working in a male-dominated environment, and they are holding it down, being successful. And I have to applaud us. We some bad women, man. So Greg is like over there boxing. So our next one, and I had the honor to interview her on the Business Zone a couple of weeks ago, and I learned so much about her. And all of you women, I'm just so impressed with, and I am honored to be in you guys' circles. But Miss Theodora, I had no clue. I just met her here on the community briefing, and I had no clue what this lady had been doing in our community. And the one thing I have to say to all the women that are in construction, you are leaving your mark, right? Because you have buildings that have been built. So when you drive through this city, you can say, that one's mine, and that one's mine, and that one's mine. So you can lay claim as a stakeholder here in this city. And so again, welcome, Ms. Theodora. Can you share with us your powerful story?
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name's Theodora Oyie. Thank you so much, Crystal, for and Stephen, for creating this platform so that we have an opportunity to gather like this to continue business development, leadership development, like Robin just said. My company's name is Mindful Integration of Construction Services. And so one of the reasons I named it Mindful Integration of Construction Services is because this, my work involves putting a human face to construction. Many of the major projects that are happening in our region, a lot of projects that we don't usually watch. We usually watch these projects being built, and we generally don't know how to get involved. A lot of decisions are made behind the scenes, and a lot of times most of us are not in the room. So what my company does is it helps contractors meet the goals, whether the goals are local worker hire, a minimum goal of maybe 30% or 40% or something like that of local residents, or it's businesses, small businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses here in LA. So some of my projects are like, most recently, USC Village, or even the Lucas Museum, or a couple of projects at LAX. Met Bianca years ago when I worked for one of my ex-employers. And I'm actually right now, before I even continue, I'm gonna digress. I apologize that I'm jumping a little bit because I'm all over the place with, I'm very excited to be here. Very, very excited, number one. So number two, I'm one of the women in the current sister entrepreneurship program that Colette started talking about. I am very, very, very heartened and excited to be with a lot of other women, Black women especially, who are starting their own business, own their own businesses, running their own businesses, and want to, do it the right way. Make, just like Daryl Brown was telling us the other day, let's move us to those numbers, to at some point where we get to be 1 out of every 5 households too.
Yeah.
So that owns a business. So number two, my business helps me go back to my business. I just had to get that out of the way before I forgot. the flex, I mean, one more thing before I even get to my business, the flex from the program that us, the women who are going to be in that program, the resources, the support is just going to be amazing, because a lot of times as business owners, we operate, alone.
Silos. Mhm.
Yeah, in silos, alone, and being a leader, being an entrepreneur can be a lonely situation. So to have the resources, the sisterhood, Colette, thank you for putting this together for us. So going back to my business. Now I'm going to talk about my business. Okay, so I help local residents, folks who, particularly folks who look like us, who have been shut out of the construction industry, who don't really know how lucrative it is. Don't know how the process of getting into these projects and actually building a career, because a lot of times in the past, a lot of our folks have had to drive all over the place, San Diego, Riverside, Lancaster, wherever, just to work, Ventura, but a lot of the work is happening here. So LA County has at least $200 billion of construction in the pipeline happening here. Again, over $200 billion. Most states don't even have half of that. LA County alone has that. And so we are grateful, we're lucky that practically every project, every one of those projects, whether it's housing, whether it's airports, whether it's water treatments, whether it's the roads, whether it's the stadiums, whether it's hotels, whatever, gas, Southern California Gas, Southern California Edison, school districts, every single one of these projects have provisions to include local residents. They have provisions to include small businesses. The only problem for our region is enforcement. So people are literally still saying they can't find, whether it's small businesses or women-owned businesses, or they can't find local residents who want to work on these projects, who can work on these projects, which is absolutely bogus. One of the reasons I got into this business, another reason I got into it is because when I was working on LAUSD projects, one of my projects was the first project in LA. It's called Augustus Hawkins High School right now. That was the first project out of 133 schools that LAUSD built with its $20 billion construction program that reached 50% local worker hire. So I was able to show LAUSD and the entire industry that was building all those schools that you can build one of these schools and make sure that LA residents are front and center, for lack of a better word. 50%. LA has over 150 zip codes. So again, there's no reason for anybody to claim we can't find LA residents. And we have all these community-based nonprofit pre-apprentice programs that help our folks who want to change careers, have had, bad situations with the justice system. Fortunately, construction still allows, it's a clear path. If you can do the work and you want to do the work, construction doesn't care what your background was. So that's one of the reasons I am, for lack of a better word, focused on helping make sure that our folks are, front and center as well. Because as we see with other groups, not to for lack of a better word, call, discriminate or say anything bad or anything, cast any aspersions. We see how the Latinos have really stepped up and really engaged and they're front and center. So I want our small Black businesses, whether or not they're small or not, our Black businesses also need to be involved in those capacities. And our workers, our community should be, is available, can, wants to, should, is positioned, is, I don't even have the words. I'm that excited I'm that excited, folks, because I mean, literally, we have folks, what happens is we have, because the work is here in LA, that's another thing. The work is here in LA. So we have companies coming from not only across the country, opening offices here in LA County. And I mean, all over the country, opening businesses here. We have international companies opening offices here in LA County, and they're bringing in their folks, and they're making the money here, while us who live here, raise families here, don't know where to even begin to get involved. So my company, for lack of a better word, shepherds folks. So we help folks, we guide folks to do, we give them the limo ride, for lack of a better word. We give the limo ride because we know, I'm grateful, very grateful to have worked for the general contractors. So I've helped them win the work. So that means I know how the general contractor connects with the owner to win the work. I've also, fortunately, also been able to connect with a lot of the community-based organizations that help us, whether it's small businesses or folks who are looking to get work, whether it's the homeless shelters, whether it's the faith group. I'm grateful that I can connect. I have relationships with all of them, so we can continue to push people through so they can work. So my work is about building, not only, I see myself as a builder. So I build not only work, the buildings, the structures, I also help people build themselves and build their lives, transform themselves and everything. So the kind of money, I'm sorry, I don't mean to come, I have one more thing I want to say. The kind of money that we have, I mentioned earlier that we have over $200 billion worth of work happening in our region. Okay, we have, for example, the state of California, through SB1, the tax dollars that we voted for, committed to, whatever, for the next at least 25 years, the state of California, it must, not will, not could or should, they must spend at least $6 billion to fix the roads, the bridges, and this and that and the other. And they have they have small business provisions, and they also have local hire local hire provisions to make sure people are working. Every agency has a project labor agreement. That means they are committed to making sure that our folks are working. So again, that's kind of what I do. And if that's not enough, I have another business. It's called Spiffy and Sparkling. Spiffy and Sparkling is a water trucks and street sweeping business. So what we do is we clean the construction sites, we sweep the construction sites, we sweep the parking lots, we sweep whatever, the malls, we keep them, and also the water trucks make sure that the dust from any construction site is not blanketing the community. Dust control, health reasons, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, there is opportunity. Construction is wide open. So I would like in our community to understand that one of the reasons we have been shut out of it is because there's so much money in it. All we see is just the person in the street. We think that's construction. That is not even a quarter of 1% of what construction is. So we need to get in it. We need to get our folks working, starting businesses, buying those businesses, operating those businesses, because we have construction happening for the next at least 20 years, whether it's in preparation for the Olympics. LADWP has all this infrastructure work that they're doing for the next 50 folks, 50 years, and they'll never run out of money. So we're good. I could talk forever, but as you can tell.
It's wonderful. Theodora, I'm gonna tell it. So Theodora and I were in the chat box and she says, I'm not ready. And I'm like, girl, I know you. You're always ready, And so again, you said some wonderful things, and all of our presenters have said some wonderful things. The opportunity abounds. So whatever you're missing, the community briefing is here to help point the resources that you need to fill in the blanks for wherever you think the gap is. So before you make that personal assessment, go and get some professional help. And guess what? The help is free. Pacific Coast Regional, SBA, Richard Paley is with NACA. I think that's how you got it. Is that how I pronounce that right? You know, there's some organizations out here. John May is with US Bank. We bring in every week, we have specialists and individuals who have stripes on their back. Meaning that, as I always say with my tagline, I've been behind the curtain. I love what you said. I did construction financing for 22 years, starting with single family credit cards, lines of credit, moving all the way up to affordable housing. And so I love construction because in construction, I have a journalism degree. So I was able to take my journalism degree and morph that into telling the story of a construction project, the borrower and what have you. So again, this has just been freaking fantastic around women being able to talk about this. Specifically, we didn't plan this, but it ends up that everybody's talking about the construction trade. And to your point, you guys, the other thing that I always harp on, remember who you're electing. Because everything that these ladies talked about was part of some vote that you as individuals may not have read, may not have seen. You know, we have our young lady here from our weekly, you know, the Sentinel. These articles are in the news in these throwaway papers or the free papers or the less expensive papers or the papers in our community. The story is there. The question is, will you take advantage of it? Really and truly, because we're not being shut out. We're just not coming to the table prepared. And so community briefing is here truly to help us be prepared, to be ready, to be proactive. So ladies, you have done a wonder. I know these women. I'm very proud of the ones who spoke, and I'm also proud of the ones who are here every week supporting us. And with that, we have our medical correspondent. Dr. Vicki Mays is joining us today to give us an update, and we know she's going to give us some good information.
And hold on one second, Dr. Mays, hold on one second. And then when she gets done, I'm gonna allow you all 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds to at least come off the mic, say hello and tell them who you are. And then we're gonna wrap up. So we're gonna go over just a little bit, but I do want you all to have an opportunity to say hello. Go ahead, Dr. Mays, sorry.
No problem. I'm gonna do the quick version, the short version today then for family, but the important version. There is now the opportunity to also get another set of COVID tests for free. So before you were allowed 4, they have added an additional 4. So if you haven't gotten any, you can get up to 8. I advise you, just go on covid.gov and to order them. The reason I'm encouraging you to order them is because the new medications, they're being very clear that if you're going to take the new oral medications, which are shown to decrease the likelihood of you getting sick, you have to do it in 3 to 5 days. Some of you who want to go and get a test at the drugstore and CVS and all these other places, you have to make appointments, etc. That's taking too long. So please have tests at home on hand, so that as soon as you think you're experiencing a symptom, you can take the test. That's the only way you're going to be able to get these oral medications, because if you're too late, you can't get them and your illness may be a little worse. The other thing I'll share with you today is, as businesses, you always plan ahead. I'm learning so much about how you plan ahead. The thought is that next fall, if we're going to see another iteration of any kind of surge or problems, it's being planned for in the fall. So I'm telling you that so that you don't have everything loaded up and then something has to be shut down or something's going to be changed. So I'm going to stop there, Crystal. And next week, what I would be happy to talk about is we have risen as Black Californians to be second for the death rate. So I'm going to tell you a new report that's out so that you understand you may want to do masking just a little different than others because of what's going on in the community. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Dr. May. So let me ask one little quick question. So even though they've listed mask mandates, we are still in a pandemic, right?
The pandemic has not gone away. And wait a minute. Don't be the experimental guinea pigs for somebody like me who does research, where I get to take your numbers and say, oops, we got it wrong, or oops, it wasn't quite as bad as we thought, or oops, it wasn't as good as we thought. So, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And we definitely will have you. Richard Pele says that the covid.gov link website is not working. Is there another website that you can provide him? All righty, guys. Thank you so much. So we're going to start to my right, which is Roger. Roger, you want to tell everyone and say hello to everyone? Are you there, Roger? I'm not sure. All right, okay, so we're going to jump over to our, oh, there you are.
Okay. All right. Hey, how's everybody? My name is Roger Tinsley, AKA The Danger Man. And the Danger Man brand is the only Black-owned and operated superhero brand in the world. We've been around for like 22 years. We do a lot of work in urban communities, empowering our children to read, to stay safe. We have a new film out called Danger Man Returns. I put the website in there. And we also have the Danger Man Hero Awards coming up on April 2nd. It'll be virtual again this year. And we're looking forward. We have some great honorees. And I was just honored to be on the call today. I mean, I'm on here every week, but these Black women, boy, you guys are rocking. Okay. This is Black Magic Incorporated. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Miss Ardina, another super lady in the community.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is so amazing. I'm Ardina Brooks. I'm the CEO and founder of Designs by Ardina, and I create memorable and legacy art for individuals and businesses who want to capture and preserve their legacy memories by bringing life to your photos through what I call legacy art. Legacy art, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a pretty picture on the wall, but it is the art of the expression of a moment in time. Everyone on this call are walking out your legacy. And the expression that we get in the art is so that we can pick up the spirit of life that's in the story, your story, but through art.
Awesome, thank you. Miss Michelle Bell, another superstar in the community in the health space.
Hello, everyone. Michelle Moore Bell. I am a 40-year veteran in the beauty hair care industry. As a beauty, hair care, lifestyle, and wellness expert consultant, I love helping women and men of all ages to look good and feel better. I help people look good in several ways, from skincare, cosmetics, and providing great African-American and inspirational gifts to give that will inspire the person that you are giving the gifts to, including yourself. I am looking for new retail customers. Contact me today to see how I can provide you with great gifts. My contact information is in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Next super lady, Ms. Emma Maxey.
You're on mute, Emma.
I know, thank you.
There you go.
I'm Emma Maxey from the Small Business Administration, and I just put some important information in the chat box about the new DUNS number. You will no longer be able to call and get a DUNS number for anything doing any federal contracting. So the information is there. If you have one, you must replace it if you're getting any type of funding from federal government. I also indicated the last day, if you go to Duns and Bradstreet and to request a DUNS number, they will give you the new requirement that you must have. And the date to do that, I believe, is trying to remember all my dates, just at the end of the month. Otherwise, you must replace your DUNS number in your profile in SAMS. That's the latest that's going on with the SBA. And if you're still trying to get an advance with your EIDL loan, you can still get it. If you've received an email, respond to it. We do have money for that, but the EIDL program is over. But if you're looking for an increase, they will send you an email to tell you apply for it, you can get it. Make sure you follow up with it. And thank you very much for being on this. You guys were amazing today. I am so proud of all my sisters.
Thank you, Emma. Miss Barbara Wilson. We're gonna do the ladies, guys.
Thank you for allowing me to join you. I'm just getting started in a business that will be consulting in health and education. And I love coming to your meetings. It's great information. And I'm just continue to be excited.
All righty, thank you. Deborah Hunter.
Good morning, I'm Deborah Hunter, and I'm the owner of Information Design Consultants, which is not an interior design firm. I get at least 2 calls a week with people looking for an interior decorator. We are actually a firm that specializes in project management and information systems. And right now we are trying to get more engaged with high-speed rail and transit development software. So the systems that keep our trains running on time, that tell us the brakes are going bad and need to be changed, the design of the rail vehicles themselves. So, and I love this call. It makes me feel like I'm not out in the world by myself. There are other Black people trying to move us forward and make it happen.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, we are glad to have you. Okay, we're gonna quickly go to our guys. Richard.
Well, be home. You didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry, B. I'm sorry, B.
That's quite all right, Crystal. How you doing?
I'm good. You shifted on my screen and I didn't see you anymore.
Yes, I had to switch to the cell phone. But the bottom line is, as everyone is saying, the women, hey, you're fantastic. I love it. I'll make it quick, 30 seconds. I've taken over City University, Los Angeles. The founder president passed a couple of years ago at the age of 85. It's a 47-year-old university. We've added about 12 new departments. We're also now searching for a new chancellor and a new president, and we will relaunch June 1st. We have a building in escrow. It's a 10,200 square foot building. I need to talk to someone about financing and that type of thing, because it's been a while since I've been in that industry. So that's one thing. The other quick thing is this. You know, the Olympics, of course, is coming up. And if you could, please take the time to go to africatownnow.com. The reason being is there are over 15 cultural designated areas in this city. With the demographics of Black folks diminishing, if we do not have an area, a land geographic area with the name Africatown on it, we will disappear when those people get here, those tourists. Right now, there are close to 50 million people coming to City of LA tourists, and they are looking for where are the Black cultural sites.
Centers. Mm-hmm.
So we absolutely must get behind naming that area africatownnow.com, because otherwise, when they get here for the Olympics, we will not exist. Thank you.
All right, thank you, babe. B, we will take that into consideration and start pushing and we'll go over to that site to find out more information. Thank you. Richard, you want to tell us who, what, and where's quickly?
I'm a visitor.
Yeah, right.
Loved what everybody shared today. This is most amazing. I'm so proud to be able to see us celebrate us. Tired of everybody saying what we're not doing. You're doing a great job, ladies. Thank you. Richard Palais, Executive Vice President of National Asian American Coalition. Yes, a Black man amongst Asians who are trying to change the world. We're here working together, providing housing counseling, small business lending, credit repair, foreclosure and rent eviction. We're here to help the communities that are unreached and hardly reached. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. You're not a visitor. You're welcome. You're part of the family. Michael.
Michael Browning.
Hello there. Hello, you
There you
all.
go.
Great to see you. Been in Detroit for some good family time, so glad to be back. Mike Browning with Black Women Rally for Action, Los Angeles County. And you may ask, why are you volunteering with Black Women Rally for Action? I don't think this group would ask that, but there is no other more noble cause for a Black man than to the protection and the health and well-being of Black women. And so we're working on mostly COVID issues at the time being, but working on all health and well-being aspects for the Black women. And I really appreciate getting invited to these meetings, and one of my favorite meetings of the week. So glad to see you all. I'm glad to be back in LA.
All righty, we're glad to have you back. Andre there? Okay, then John.
Hello, yes, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'll just skip and let someone else go because I'm not really selling a product. I'm a land use consultant, and I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you, Crystal.
Okay, John, are you there? B, John is in the money industry. Emma's in the money industry, and so is Colette. Reach out to them. All righty, Asali, I'm not sure if that's a male or a female, if John didn't respond. Asali?
Did you say John May?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Anyway, thanks. Thank you, Crystal. It's a pleasure to be part of this weekly call. There's so much good information, and I'm proud to be part of it. I'm also proud to be part of today's call and celebrating the women, all of the women on the call and all over who do these great things that help drive us to get where we need to get. I'm with US Bank Home Mortgage, and I'm here to do my part in helping to provide assistance, education, and close the gap on Black home ownership. So any way that I can help, be of assistance, or answer any questions for those of you on the call or anyone that you know or that gets wind of this call, please contact me so that I can answer any questions you may have. And again, it's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you very much. So Sally didn't speak, and also I am not sure the number. There's just a phone number, so I don't know if there's a person there. And Sherma had no audio. So thank you guys.
Well, did you get Andre? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
I got Andre. Yeah,
he did. Just so
everyone, click the 3 dots in the chat because there's some valuable information there so that you can save that on your own computer. But I will also be putting it up on our site. Next week we have Shannon Hops. She is Chief Procurement Officer for the City of Los Angeles. So come back, tell a friend, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Ladies, it's been awesome. You've been awesome, guys. We haven't forgotten you. Next month is Black Business Month. Recycling Black Dollars. Muhammad Nazar deemed that one to be Black History Month. So we're gonna address you guys next month. How about that? You're gonna have your day to be honored because we can't leave you guys out. You're the kings and we're the queens of our race. So we want to make sure that we're honoring everyone. Thank you guys so much, Dr. Mays, everyone. Awesome. We are here for you to support you, and we're our own community. So we need to uplift each other, embrace each other, and support and help each other. So we will see you guys next week. Remember, the pandemic is not over. Dr. May said it. And so please take care of yourself and have a great weekend. Check out the Business Zone tomorrow. I have a young lady that's launching a new book, and she's an amazing celebrity fitness trainer, and she has reshaped a whole lot of bodies in this community. So check out the Business Zone tomorrow, Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great day. We will see you guys next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Feel better, Greg.
Thank you.
Tess.
Better, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Robin.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, take care. Good to see everybody.
Richard, we'll be reaching out to you to be a guest on the Business Zone next month, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sure.
All
More
right.
than happy to help. Thank you.
Okay.
Blessings all.
All righty. Ms. Robin, thank you.
This was good, guys. This was a good format, Greg. It really was.
Yeah, really, really worked. The ladies were.
Is Stephen in town or out of town? He's out of town.
He is in town, but he's working. He has a project that he's working on that kind of coincides with our 11 o'clock time frame.
Got it. Okay.